All right, so this is where the show comes in full circle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm out of college, working non-end jobs, warehouse, temp agency, call center, kind of the regular college, trying to find yourself, still doing my events, got into promotion. I landed my first big boy job at Penske.
Mm-hmm.
Penske is a company.
Yep.
Guy tells me, he was like, I've been there about a year and a half now. One of the drivers like, hey man, you need to look into dispatching. Like, that's some good money. I'm about to give me a truck. Look into dispatching. I'm like, all right, cool. Mind you, in and out the ear. Boom. That's my first time hearing it.
Yeah.
So I'm working downtown Atlanta location. I meet this guy. He's like, oh yeah, man, my brother, he does this, he does that. Like, we looking for dispatchers. It's my second time hearing it. So mind you, he's a regular customer, so I don't think none of it. In and out the ear. One of my older frat brothers working Penske, higher up. He's a lease sales rep. He came, he told me on some side stuff. Like, hey man, I know you promoting the club. I got a new client. He's a club owner. Apparently, he's like one of the big guys in the city. So he was like, hey man, try to link with him, talk to him. But now I'm trying to figure out who he is. Boom. The brother come back in. Oh yeah, my brother own nightclubs. Oh yeah, for real? Yeah, man. Like I'm telling you, you're starting a truck company. You know somebody who dispatch? Oh, I know how to dispatch. I ain't know how to dispatch.
Word.
And how to dispatch. Mind you, I ain't met his brother or nothing. I ain't know how to dispatch. So sometimes he's like, oh yeah, well, get my number. I got his number. Me and him was texting. Ooh, I'm going home though. This is when I was like, all right, bro, you need to change. Like, you can't be going to the clubs, leaving at 3 or 4, then got to work at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's training.
Yeah.
So I was like, mind you, I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
You gotta watch your shoulder. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. Listen, I got another great recommended guest, top tier guest. This man is on the move always, constantly. I followed his social media when he was recommended, and I was like, man, this dude get jiggy in the A, you know what I'm saying, moving around. As you can see, he on go right now. So let me introduce my guest, because it's a top tier guest. So I got Darais, a.k.a. BISKIT Anderson, age 29, career/job. He's a VP of a trucking company / party promoter. Went to college at Albany State University, got his degree in mass communications. Years in his profession is 2 years. It's pretty funny that we actually played Albany State in football, a little small school, North Greenville University. So we played y'all like my freshman year. It was a long time ago, but it was a dope game. Albany State always has some huge players, like solid, you know what I'm saying, athletic is on the way. I think we lost that game too, so it's all good. But BISKIT, man, say what's up to the podcast.
Man, what's going on, everybody? I appreciate you. I'm really mad that I'm in my car, but this is how my life is. I live out my car, bro, honestly. I'm always on the go. And it's funny that you say you went to North Greenville. I got recruited from them in the high school, but it was in the middle of nowhere, so I said, no, sir.
Listen, man, I ain't know it was in the middle of nowhere until I went to go work out, and they gave me a little bit of money before I left. I said, I'm going to go ahead and take the money and just come on out here. But it's definitely in the sticks. No cap. In the sticks. But nah, man, I appreciate you for being on the podcast, man. But listen, it wouldn't be Big Boss Talk if we didn't get into 2 truths and a lie. So let me hear 3 statements, 2 true, 1 lie. I got to guess the lie, and hopefully I can guess it.
Okay, 2 truths and a lie. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I tour to different HBCUs, and I have DJ'd a wedding.
Okay, so you from Atlanta, Georgia. You tour to different HBCUs, and you DJ'd a wedding.
Right.
Bet. Dang. So, I mean, obviously the song came out, the Atlanta, Georgia, this is not Atlanta, whatever. I don't know. You might be from Atlanta. I mean, you went to Albany State. I believe you do tour HBCUs. I want to think that I've seen it like on story or something, because I try to do a little bit of research and just go back and see, you know, what everybody's involved in. And then DJ the wedding, you know, that would, I mean, you've hosted a lot of different things, so DJing the wedding doesn't seem uncommon from your style. So I'm gonna say the Atlanta, Georgia is the lie. I mean, you probably from Georgia. I'm gonna say Atlanta, Georgia though is not. That's the lie.
Man, I got on the Atlanta shirt right now, bro. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, man. I was born in the hospital. I'm from the center of the city, bro.
Okay.
But my lie was I've DJed a wedding. I've hosted a wedding. I never DJed one.
Okay, for sure. That man say I got an Atlanta shirt on right now. Bet.
I'm for real. I'm at my barbershop right now on the west side right now. I'm in West Atlanta right now. Like, people don't come over here, but my grandma stay up the street. Got to go run into her before I go out and hit the road and do what I'm doing. So, I'm from Atlanta. I moved to Douglasville when I got a little older, but I'm definitely from the city, and I'm gonna rep it as you see. It's just so
I see.
I'm from the city though, but yeah.
That's what's up, man. Well, look, I appreciate that, playing the two truths. So there are 2 truths and a lie. I lost, so I'm in the L column for the day. But before we get started, bro, I got 4 questions for you, man. Before we get started, they real simple questions, but obviously you're a party promoter. You know, I think, you know, just watching what you do, I think it's a natural. You have to have a talent to be able to bring people together, be able to promote, create a vibe, and have people interested in what you got going on. So what's the key to a lit party, man? What's some of the, you know, top 3 essentials, maybe top 4 essentials you gotta have to make sure that the party is right, that the vibe is right? What's some of that?
Okay, so what a lot of people don't understand this sets your promoters away from people who just want to just go out and be around the girls. You actually have to meet and plan your events. Like, we meet every week when it comes to one of our brunches, because we got the biggest brunch in the city. So it's kind of like we meet every week. Like, I'm talking about like a real meeting. Sit down at a meeting table, discuss the issues, what we didn't prepare for, what we prepared for, and what. So definitely, like, organized and meeting. Like, that's one thing. A lot of people think it's just like posting a flyer on Instagram. Honestly, think about how many people you see on Instagram. Yes, everybody has their phone in their hand, but how many times you see a person that's really a flyer catches their eye. So it's different things that you got to do that I learned along the way.
Yeah.
Of like how to actually promote it to the masses. Where if it's paid flyers like ads on Instagram. I have, like, I'm in a frat, so my frat brother, he does vibes at ATL.
Yep.
He does, like, where he goes around reviewing different places, and he got like a big following. Go pay him. Hey, bro, come over here. Come get this free food. Try it out. He got 150,000 folks that's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Boom. Post it. It go crazy. So you gotta learn how to prepare right as far as meeting. You have to know how to promote without just posting a flyer. And then another thing I would say is don't be in it for the wrong reasons. Like, if you're it's so easy to just party every weekend.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
We're around it I'm around it all day, every day. If I was to do that, bro, I would never conduct real business. Like, it's a business. A lot of people don't understand this. So promotions, the club, the nightlife is a business, and it's a big business in Atlanta.
Yep.
Because Atlanta's known for it. They're known for the hip hop genre, the nightlife. Everything falls into the nightlife. Whether it's you're a singer, you rap, you're an actor, it falls into the entertainment, which is the nightlife. Everybody has a birthday. Everybody wants to celebrate something. So it's like, you got to have a business mindset. You got to treat it as a business. And then the last thing I would say is those 3. Just don't get caught up into it. Have a bigger goal, bro. Like, just don't be a promoter. I used to fight that name so much because when I was in high school, I was throwing parties. When I got into college, when I joined the frat, I really kind of let go of the parties. Right. And when I first graduated, I was doing events. Like, I was doing sipping paints. I was doing what is it called? Like the matchmaking. I can't think of the name.
Speed dating?
Speed dating. I did speed datings. I did for Streets 94.5. Like I was doing events, and you know, it was good, and that's something that I love. Like, I love comedy shows. I love comedy. A lot of people don't know I actually like be hosting comedy shows.
I saw that.
But I would say just don't get caught up into it. Like, have an end goal. Don't just be there to party, because if you do that, the nightlife will suck you up. So yeah, so first one is prepare, meet.
Yep.
Second one, learn how to promote to the masses.
Yep.
The third one is to think of it as a business, and the fourth one, don't get caught into it.
For sure. All right, so then where does the nickname come from, bro?
All right, so the nickname is crazy. A lot of people don't even know. A lot of people ask me, and I be like, all right, my family, just because I don't want to sit here and explain how long I had this nickname. But my family actually hates my nickname, Biscuit. They know if you come around me and you call me Biscuit when you're around my family, they know you don't know me. Like, my call me by my first name. My mama hates it. She hates it. So I just, for a long story short, I be telling people, nah, it just came from my family since I was little. But actually, it came from the Boys and Girls Club. So I was living in Atlanta. Going to school, and I was staying with my grandma. Right here, actually. I'm right here by it. And I was going to my mom, and my stepdad moved to Douglasville. But on the summer times, I go out to the Boys and Girls Club, stay with my mom and them. Yeah. So it was a guy. It was two guys. They was older. And they, like, you know, you join in. They called me Biscuit Head one time. Yeah. And it just stuck. And it went from Biscuit Head to Biscuit. And then, like, it got out the Boys and Girls. Mind you, I lived in Atlanta. So I used to come back home. You know, I'm Darais to Atlanta. And then I go back to Douglasville. Like, when I finally actually moved out there with my mom, it went from the Boys and Girls Club to everybody in Douglasville, like, calling me Biscuit. And it just stuck. And I'm so business-minded. When I'm like, I don't like it, but people know me. And if I know me, I can bring them to my parties. So that's kind of how it went, bro.
Word, man. I don't know what it is, man, about nicknames, man. Like I said, Biscuit was one of them, but it never stuck with me. But the only one that really stuck with me was Peanut. So my real nickname, like, everybody just know me by Peanut. And that one just stuck with me forever. Like, to this day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to this day, people just run up to me and be like, what's up, Peanut? Or like, I introduce myself as, like, I try to use my real name, but then they'll find out, oh, your nickname Peanut. Like, we going to keep calling you that. You know what I'm saying? So
imagine you can't even introduce yourself. Somebody,
yeah.
You try to give them your name. Like, I'd be like, hey, how you doing? I'm Darais. Hey, you Biscuit. I'm like, yeah, man. Biscuit, bro.
Word, man. Okay, then the next one. What gives Atlanta the best vibes, bro? Like, why is Atlanta just known for the vibes, man? Like, be real.
But it started before us, bro. Honestly, that 04, that middle, that early 2000 age when Atlanta started taking over the hip hop scene. Yeah. Like, generation before us, man. They really, like, even you go back into the late 90s, bro. The Freaknik area, like, yep. They was who actually got Atlanta to where it was at, and it's kind of like I trying to maintain it. That's really the truth, man. Because it's like imagine coming into a made bed. Like, your bed is already made. You just got to keep it made, and that's kind of how it is now. It's like Atlanta has, like, I be finding myself like, man, I want to move. I want to go experience something new. Yeah. But then I go somewhere else, and I be like, man, it's just something about Atlanta. Like, it's already been set. Like, it's the tone has been set. Like I told you, bro, we meet about parties. Like, we don't just party. Right. Like, take it serious. So it tells you, like I went to Dallas, and they just now stopped doing BYOB. Like, you bringing your bottle to the club. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
We did. Atlanta probably
we've been doing that.
So it's kind of like, man, just staying ahead of times. I've been in this game for not too long, but I've learned a lot. And I watch how other promoters or club owners, how they move. I read them, and I gain something from everybody, bro. And even if you're younger than me, you older than me, like, it's always game to learn. I just see, like, how they move. Like, they'll go out of town, and you'll think it's a vacation, but they really just going out of town, go to another club, see what they got going on. Okay, let me see what y'all doing different. Like, how can I get into Atlanta? And that's why people love coming to the city, because you could be from Detroit, and you get a piece of Detroit in Atlanta. Yeah. So
that makes sense, man. Houston, I got a lot of people that come to Houston, man. So I'm in Houston. Houston nightlife is cool. It's all right, you know what I mean? But I'm starting to get to the point where I don't even like. It's just getting a little aggravating to try to go out, in Houston. But you know what I'm saying. I get people that's from Atlanta. They come to Houston. They be like, "Nah, Atlanta got Houston beat." Most deaf. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I haven't been to Houston. I've been to Dallas. I was actually gonna come to Houston this week, but I got caught up in the truck and stuff. But everybody tell me Houston is just like Atlanta.
It's definitely like Atlanta. But do you ever feel like when you out in Atlanta, if you going out, like you always gotta like, it's like you always gotta put it on, like dress to the nine. Like it ain't no off. Like I like to go to the spots and be like, okay, I can wear like a jersey, some nice shoes, jeans, look clean. But
yeah, I feel you.
It's not allowed.
Got to put it on every time. But I mean, luckily with me, I do it so much. It's kind of like it gets to the point where I be like, all right, I don't care what I wear this weekend. But then you got to have back in your mind, like, okay, what happened if Lotto, if she walk in today?
Yeah.
Are you ready to take your photo out with Lotto? So that's my thing. Like I'd be like, all right, I don't feel like putting on clothes day, but then I'll be like, this just might just be that weekend. And you don't want to be that person when it's that weekend and you got on some BS.
You ain't ready.
That's the only reason I would say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. And in Atlanta, like, even a brunch, you can't go to brunch with no regular clothes on.
Right.
Gotta step.
You gotta step. Which is, I mean, it's cool. I guess it's acceptable. I just had to ask, you know what I'm saying? Or at least let you know, like, Houston, because I'm from South Carolina. So I've been to Atlanta, multiple times, but now I moved out to Houston. It's like I'm getting a little different sense of the vibe. And then I talk to people from Atlanta, and they just be like, man, Atlanta just unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of people say Houston is Atlanta 2.0 or just a kind of more spread out Atlanta. So it's just, you get different vibes, man. But I really want to go into the next part. It's very much educational, man. Give people a little bit of a background about you. Did you always, what did you want to be kind of like growing up? You know what I'm saying? Are you doing everything that you said like you thought you would growing up, or did you have different dreams, growing up through school, elementary, high school, and maybe even college?
Yeah, I don't honestly think nobody is kind of doing what they thought they would do.
Yeah.
Going into college, man, I thought I was going to be a principal of a high school.
What?
Like, that was just, man, I even changed my life. Like, mind you, like, this is how I know this is kind of like a calling for me, because in high school, the first time I got the party bug in me, I was 16. My mom was like, what you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, I want to throw a birthday party. Heck, I'm talking about, this is before social media, like
yeah,
packed, like 200-300 kids packed. My mama, like, I was just telling my mama, like, let's just charge $2. My mom was charging $5. Like, I bought a PlayStation, what, it was 2 or 3 at the time? Yeah. Bought one, gave it to my mama the money, like, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, I got something. But I kept throwing parties in high school, but I stopped when I went to college because I wanted to be an education major, and you got to uphold yourself a certain way.
Yeah.
You got a certain way you can do certain things. So it kind of like strayed me away from education because I was finding myself. I was like, man, I want to be a teacher. Like, I know that's like, I love kids. I love, like, especially like teenagers. I like to grab hold to them and kind of guide them in the right way.
For sure.
But like, as soon as I graduated, dude was like, hey, bro, I used to see you host stuff in college. Like, can you host my comedy show? And I realized when I promoted it and stuff, the whole crowd was my crowd.
Right.
So that's when I kind of like, okay, you can't run from this, bro. You can't run from college. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when I was in school, really, I was online. I was pledging, and you had to take the gates. You had to take the gates to get in. You had to take the pre-gates to get into be an education major. You got to be in the program, and you had to pay like $250, $300. I was online though, so I ain't had no money. So I major over to mass communication because I was like, oh, I like communication, radio, broadcast, all this, that, and third.
Yep.
So I did that. I stuck with that. Graduated with my degree in mass comm. And at first I was fighting like, man, I don't went to college for no reason. But now I look at it and I'm like, man, look at all the connections that I made, all the people that I met.
Yeah.
My network game is so crazy just because of the steps that I took. I got like, my mom, like, I was telling her, like, man, I don't know if I get married, like, what I'm gonna do? She was like, you gotta invite your real friends. Like, she was like, you know, she's like, because I got people from elementary that pull up on me, middle school, high school, college. When I would start working a little bit, when I got out of college, like, I got a set of people from every way of my direction in my life. So I stopped fighting it, man, and kind of accepted it. And now that I accepted it, and I was like, man, I think this is what is my calling. And my family accepted. Now I'm just like, man, it's a blessing. I don't have to clock in, go to work. Like, it's just once you accept your calling and stop fighting it, man, your life will be so much better. And that's kind of what it was, man. I kind of just accepted that this is the life for me, and I really did deep into it, and it got me where I'm at right now.
Man, that's dope, man. That's hard. That's a true testament of just, like you said, accepting your calling. Like, I know it's a lot of people out here that struggle to find their calling, you know what I'm saying? And when you lucky enough, or when you blessed enough to really walk into it, or you know, understand what your calling is, I mean, just run with it, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, don't fight it, keep going. And I definitely can see that it's your calling, man, because I mean, you've been doing it for a while, man. You hosting talent shows at ASU, you know, comedy shows, like, you know, you always kind of had the mic and been promoting.
And it's crazy because it's like, I didn't know, bro. I did not know. Like, if you would told me years ago, this is what I'd be doing, I didn't know. It was a guy his name is Richard Adams. He was my dorm. He was a dorm manager, and was like, "Bro, you funny. You need to host this. This is our biggest event on campus. This is my first year at Albany State. I transferred, so it's like I knew people, but I didn't really know people like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, telling you, like, you did this. Man, I did it was a Black History Month talent show. It's the biggest talent show in the school. Packed. I'm talking about people sitting through the aisles on the side of the wall, and somebody like who's new to that will be nervous. Man, I got that thing and rocked it out. I couldn't even believe it was so bad. Like, I had my partners that hosted with me, and I love them to death. Like, they still my homies today. But everybody knew, like, oh yeah, BISKIT is something different with that mic. Yeah, because I can be funny. I can be serious. I can read off a teleprompter. Like, I can switch up. I can code switch. They ain't know how to really do that. And once I did that, man, every organization, everybody wanted me to host. I'm hosting pageants. I'm doing I had to get comedy shows when big comedians come. Rick Ross, all them came. I hosted the events like Rich Homie Quan, Jacquees. Anytime we had something to host when I was in school in Albany State, I was hosting. But the only thing I regret, if I hope somebody watch this, the only thing I regret was not getting footage of it. Like, I would just live. Like, I can tell you these stories now, you'd be like, man, that sounds crazy. But to actually be there, and I wish I would have known now what I knew, and I would have recorded it. I remember DJ Luke Nasty, you know who that, going 80 in or something in the 60s. He came one day, right? I was bringing him out. He's like, man, I don't let people host for me to bring me out. He's like, all right, so, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. And I come out there. So I'm getting a crowd hype. Mine just off the stage. Yeah. It's my crowd. I know exactly what songs to play. I know what to say. They up out their seat, phone lights out. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. In my mind, like, this ain't nobody yelling. I'm like, what they yelling for? I look, DJ Luke Nasty, like, coming out. That man told me backstage, he said, man, I couldn't wait.
I couldn't wait.
I don't know what you got going, but you got something going. And that's what I knew, bro. But now I'm kind of taking the business mind. Like, right now, I can host. I can pick up a mic, do my thing. But it's like, I'm so business minded now, man. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to own. So I sat back from hosting. I put the mic down for real. And I've been just like, being like a boss behind the scenes. And of course, I still promote. But a lot of people don't know exactly what I got going on behind the scenes. So that's the approach I'm taking. The hosting got me to meeting club owners and investors and all this stuff. And it did what it's supposed to do. And now I'm on the level, like I said, don't forget your path or your goal. Like, hosting, I don't feel like was my passion. It was more of something to get me to where I needed to be. Like, my real passion is putting all my people on, you know, retiring my mom. I told her I'm going to get her in 2 years. So that's what I've been doing. So now I'm like more behind the scenes, sitting at the big tables. I ain't saying much, but I'm listening.
Yeah. So what's the end goal then? I mean,
the end goal, man, is to own, man. I actually want to own stuff that I do. I want to employ my family and my friends where I can, or you know what I'm saying, invest in them how I can. But my end goal is to own a couple of clubs, a couple of lounges, and to own like an event center / company. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's definitely the end goal. Shout out to Kevin Edwards. He owns Opium.
Okay.
He owns. He kind of like my big dog, my big brother, big dad, like father figure type. He kind of snatched me up from what I was doing to showing me a different type of life. So
for sure,
yeah, man, ownership hat is on right now, and it's hard. It's hard to be wanting to do other things when you just, man, when you walk into a spot and all you think about is the business behind it. And so that's what I'm on, man. Ownership, honestly, that's the end goal right now.
Yeah, bro. I love it, man. You wired different, man, to be able to go in. I watched a podcast with a club owner out in Miami, and he was like, man, it's really hard for me to go into different clubs. Sometimes I be wanting to go in critique versus having a good time or, picking up ideas, you know what I'm saying? Like he said he walked into a club one time and he said he saw that everybody that was trying to go to the bathroom, it's somebody that if you walk around the hall, you gotta go to the bathroom. We walk you to the bathroom to escort you to make sure that you get to the bathroom properly. Like he was just saying like little small stuff like that to give people a great experience, because how many times you walk into a location, you don't know the bathroom at, but you just kind of walking around, and it's just like little small stuff that he was mentioning. And I see that's how you starting to, that's how you thinking, and that's the way you going. So, I can't wait to, see that finishing product and just see, what you're able to do with, your spots and everything that you got in your mind going forward. So nothing but success. The last thing, a couple of things I do want to just talk about is just you are got a trucking company, VP of a trucking company. How did that come about, and what did the mind frame, for that, get started?
All right, so this is where the show comes in full circle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm out of college, working non-end jobs, warehouse, temp agency, call center, kind of the regular college, trying to find yourself, still doing my events, got into promotion. I landed my first big boy job at Penske.
Mm-hmm.
Penske is a company.
Yep.
Guy tells me, he was like, I've been there about a year and a half now. One of the drivers like, hey man, you need to look into dispatching. Like, that's some good money. I'm about to give me a truck. Look into dispatching. I'm like, all right, cool. Mind you, in and out the ear. Boom. That's my first time hearing it.
Yeah.
So I'm working downtown Atlanta location. I meet this guy. He's like, oh yeah, man, my brother, he does this, he does that. Like, we looking for dispatchers. It's my second time hearing it. So mind you, he's a regular customer, so I don't think none of it. In and out the ear. One of my older frat brothers working Penske, higher up. He's a lease sales rep. He came. He told me on some side stuff like, hey man, I know you promoting the club. I got a new client. He's a club owner. Apparently, he's like one of the big guys in the city. So he was like, hey man, try to link with him, talk to him. But now I'm trying to figure out who he is. Boom, the brother come back in. Oh yeah, my brother own nightclubs. Oh yeah, for real. Yeah, man. Like I'm telling you, you're starting a truck company. You know somebody who dispatch. Oh, I know how to dispatch. I know how to dispatch.
Word.
And how to dispatch. Mind you, I ain't met his brother or nothing. I ain't know how to dispatch. So sometimes he's like, oh yeah, well get my number. I got his number. Me and him was texting. Ooh, I'm going home though. This is when I was like, all right, bro, you need to change. Like, you can't be going to the clubs, leaving at 3 or 4, then gotta work at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's draining.
Yeah.
So I was like, mind you, I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah. You gotta watch your shoulder.
So mind you, I do that, right? I go home. I'm learning about dispatch. I'm on YouTube, like actually on YouTube, going crazy, and I'm writing stuff. Like this girl told me one time, she was like, "Biscuit, for you to follow your dream, you gotta start writing stuff down. You just can't be winging it." So I'm like, all right, let me take this into heat. I'm writing. I'm in college, taking notes. I'm studying. I'm learning how to do it. I'm for a full week just learning how to dispatch. I went and registered my business, got some business cards. Mind you, this is all just to oppress one person.
The guy, yeah, the one person, yeah.
So I meet the brother. His name Kevin Edwards. Mind you, I just told you his name.
You just told
I was like, hey man, I hear you you about to start a truck company. You're like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, I'm Darais, call me BISKIT. I work the counter. Anything you need, you know what I'm saying, you let me know. Boom. I hand my card. It's a dispatch card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you dispatch? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh man, I'm finna get 20 trucks, man. He's like, all right, we'll talk. I'm like, all right, cool. I just wanted to get his number. We got his number. I ain't, made my, just trying to make my first impression. Right? I ain't say nothing about nothing. Just here you go. Let him know I dispatch, but I can take care of you at Penske.
Yeah.
He started coming in. Me and him building a relationship. And I was like, he told me one day, he's like, yeah, man, I own opium. You want to come out? And I was like, oh, yeah, for real. I promote at Arm. He was like, I own Arm. All right, this one I was like,
this is crazy.
All right. At first I thought he lying because the owner name is such and such, because the guy put me onto it, promoting.
Right.
I ain't gonna say his name. So I told him the guy name. I was like, man, he told me he was on it. He's talking, what? He's like, no, he's my head promoter. He's like, I own that. I was like, oh, I'll be promoting in there and hosting. He's like, for real? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's up. I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. Next thing you know, Arm and Opium closes. They end up building or something like that. This is my first time meeting them, right? So my manager, kudos to my manager, man. She told me, it's like, hey, this man got money. Don't nobody just come in here and buy 20 trucks. You need to go to lunch, sit down, talk to him.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I hit him up. I was like, hey, text him like, hey, it's BISKIT, bro. I wanted to meet, have a meeting with you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get some lunch. It took about 2-3 weeks for him to finally sit down and get lunch with me. He asked me straight up, like, what can you do for me? Like, you at this meeting, you set this meeting down, meet with people, it's something about you, but what can you do for me? And I was like, well, I'm in the trucking industry, with you starting trucks, and I'm in the nightlife. I can bring you money 2 ways. Sold it.
Yeah.
Sold it. I quit. One day he called Penske. He's like, oh, BISKIT, what's up? Are you ready? You trying to come out of Hey, you on my lunch break. I called him on my lunch break. He was like, hey, man, you trying to do it? Let's do it. I was like, bro. I called my mama, what you think? I was like, hey, you young, you ain't got no kids. Go ahead, try it out. She's like, you follow your face, we'll figure it out. I went in there. My manager already knew I was smiling ear to ear. She was like, yeah. I put in my 2 weeks, man. I started with him. Mind you, I ain't know this man for real. I took a leap of faith, man. Took a leap of faith. Didn't really know him. I tried to research him and stuff like that. I seen he did own a couple of spots, but I was like, I don't know. I took a leap of faith, bro. We started the company. It was 5-6 people in the company when we first. And
man.
You hear me?
Yeah, you back.
My bad.
You good.
Oh, but yeah, somebody keep calling me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I ended. I started with the company. I was the newest one. He had 5 or 6 people. Next thing you know, people falling out. So I'm climbing the ladder. Mind you, I didn't know how to dispatch for real. I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
I'm winging it. But I knew some trucking stuff because of Penske. Penske actually got me right for the position. Next thing you know, I look around, ain't nobody left in the company but me. And he had that conversation with me, like, hey, man, look, you got to step up. This is 3-4 months of me being in the company. I'm still new. He like, hey, it's on you. It's on you, bro. And I was like, all right, stepped up to it. I started, dispatching. I was dispatching 8-9 people. Yeah. One time, he brought somebody in. Then I kind of fell back from dispatching, probably dispatching 3 or 4. I'm making sure the company is good. And next thing you know, I'm running the company. I'm like, oh, wow, I run the company. He just check in. Of course, he's still hands-on. And that's how that went. Mind you, he owned Opium. He owned Smokehouse, Seesaw, all these different restaurants and lounges. So Cafe Circa, I'm naming stuff that's in Atlanta, of course, that people know. But Opium is the biggest nightclub in Atlanta, the biggest. Opium and Gold Room. So he was like, all right, yeah. I tell him, man, I promote, this, that, and third. I'm trying to get in the dough.
Yeah.
only see me for the truck and stuff, but man, he let me do smokehouse day parties last Saturday, last summer on Saturdays, and my name started ringing, and then he got me in on a brunch on Sundays. They was starting up a brunch, and they opened up the new OP. Got in, and it's been going crazy ever since. Been meeting a lot of people. I'm around him making set deals, watching him set deals, and I had a shirt on. A dude in college had a shirt that he was selling, and it was like 6 figures before 30. And I wore that shirt by him one time. He's like, that should never be your goal. He was like, man, I made $1 million at 30. He's like, man, matter of fact, I made $1 million at 31. I was like, well, I'm 29, so I bet I beat you. So it's just little stuff like that, man. Like I said, man, I be watching them, and I be learning. And he know I'm learning too, because I be stepping on toes. I be like, hey, bro, what's that? What's that? He be like,
oh man, look at you.
Like, chill out, little grasshopper, chill out. Like, but man, like, nah, it's just, man, everything came full circle, bro. And I was seeing like people was thinking like, you know, is it smart for me to go to college and stuff like that? Like, honestly, like, a lot of stuff like the education part, I could have kept it. But as far as the networking, man, you can't get that nowhere else. Like, meeting people at Albany, me picking up the mic, all this would not lead me up to meeting this man who really just changed my life. Now I got free time. I'm flying different places, learning about different clubs, events, learning how to promote different, just traveling. Like, I can right now come to Houston right now if I want to. Like,
no cap.
And I ain't got to worry about, I got to take off. Like, I can come to Houston right now.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to do that this week, but we had to start 2 new drivers. So, yeah, bro, like, nah, that's how it came full circle, bro. Like,
nah, that's a full circle moment.
Yeah, me staying down, and now I'm running this man trucking company, and I ain't gonna say one of the biggest promoters, but, you know, getting my name out there in Atlanta, like, for sure.
Nah, you one of the biggest promoters, man. Go ahead and put that out there, bro. You already, it's already there, man. But dang, that's crazy. So, I mean, for one, I got 2 things, and then this will be it. So, one, for people that don't know, I know you've been saying dispatcher, right? For the people that don't know what a dispatcher is, what does a dispatcher do? You know, just bare minimum, you know, bones.
Okay, yeah. So a dispatcher, you don't need no education. You don't need to go to school for it. Nothing like that. You just, honestly, bro, a lot of people sell people on training courses, thousands of dollars, $2,000, $3,000. I ain't have that money to spend on a training course.
Right.
So I got on, which teach you everything. YouTube will teach you how to be a real estate agent. YouTube will teach you how to start your own podcast, a successful one. YouTube really teach you everything you want to know. You just got to be willing to know it. So it's like, bro, a dispatcher is where it's in the logistics world where you get something from point A to point B. You get it from point A to point B, back from B to C, C to D. Like, you literally dispatching, finding loads for drivers. And you can, like I said, bro, you don't have to go to school for it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to report to anybody. You can find owner-operated trucks, truck drivers, and dispatchers. My little brother's in college, and I'm trying to get him on it because I'm like, hey, man, you need your own money. Like, you can do this right now and come out of college, and you make it with somebody who have a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and you only doing it, you only got 3-4 trucks. So, yeah, man, it's just, man, really just finding loads. A lot of people don't like dispatchers, but if you know how to work your business and you know how to move, you'll be all right.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to teach people how to dispatch and how to start their own trucking company. I actually helped a famous rapper. I can't say his name, man, because his trucking company ain't quite up yet.
Gotcha.
But I get approved for his authority, all that. Just know he's from the South. He's one of the biggest people in the game, and I helped him trucking company together. So I might just start helping people, teach them how to start a trucking company and how to maintain one. So
that's what's up, man. And then networking. I mean, I guess not networking, but mentorship. You talk about Kevin Edwards. You know, how important is I don't know if you can hear me.
Man, everybody keep calling me.
I'm gonna let you go, man. How important is this? Is the last question. How important is mentorship in a career? Like, if you're trying to make it to that next level, right? We all, getting a job is one thing, but when we talk about going to that next stratosphere, we talk about a million before 30 or 31, whatever the case may have you. How important is a mentorship to help catapult that? Being in one stratosphere going into the next. How important is that?
It's very important. A lot of people like me, I don't like to claim I got a mentor or like to say, oh, I'm mentoring you. Like, I'm so cool. It's just like, bro, just pick up on game. You want to know something, I'll teach you. Like, I'll be big, bro. That's just me. Yeah. But, man, it's crazy because I had a mentor throughout my life this whole time. And I just never really, called it that. I just latched on to somebody that latched on to me. Like, when I was in high school, I had a guy, Albert Lindsay. He was my mentor. He's a principal. He's man, he does so much for the community. He's a bishop of a church, and he my frat brother. So he's the one who kind of showed me, hey, get right, learn this, learn that, and that made me want to get in the frat. You know what I'm saying? And then he's kind of like my life mentor. And then I met another mentor when I got grown, Kevin Edwards, and it's kind of like it wasn't forced. Like I was looking for a mentor. It was kind of like, I see what you got going. Got there to the where it's like he ain't gotta really say he's my mentee. I mean, he's my mentor. He just know. Like we both know. Like, all right, bro. Like I taught him 3-4 times. I already taught him 5 times today.
Yeah,
he ain't even doing yet. Like, so this is how it is, bro. Like anybody that looking for a mentor, I wouldn't say like, hey, go out. Hey, man, I'm looking for a mentor. Just whatever you're doing or whatever, like career or whatever industry you in, and you go and find somebody who resembles something that you like, and just make it organic, bro. Build a relationship, and then it'll take you a long way.
For sure, man. Appreciate you, dog. I know you busy. Obviously, your phone ringing bells, so we're gonna let you go.
I got 3 parties there. I got a brunch that starts in 20 minutes. I got a day party and a night party tonight. But I got a whole team. That's why everybody calling me.
For sure. If you could just give me one recommendation of who we can get on the podcast next, somebody that you think is dope. This is how we keep the podcast rolling. Just give me 1 to 2 recommendations, and then if you could just send me that information, I'll reach out to them and make it possible to get them on the podcast. Okay.
If I was to recommend somebody, I would do Gary, my boy Gary. He sells and tailor suits.
Okay.
I gotta put my homies on first. Like those. Sure. He actually just found a crazy deal. Hopefully he can say it in the interview if you get him to interview you. Interview with him. He's an entrepreneur. He does all like everybody's suits when they come. Man, he made me put on a suit. Ooh. Change it up. And then I would say, let me give out a promoter. Let me do a promoter. It's so many. You got PB, Blu-ray, Beezy. Let's do one of my partners, Beezy. He's a promoter. His name Great Beezy. Like, sure. I think he'll have something interesting to tell you.
Dope. We're gonna lock it in, man. I'll just hit you up. I hit you up offline, get that information, and then we'll chop it up, man. But it was great talking to you, great meeting you. If you ever in Houston, man, just let me know, man.
I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming. I'm going to Vegas like next week. Okay. After that, I gotta make my way. I'm definitely coming. Now I know somebody that's out there. I'm coming, bro. You just gotta introduce me to some people. I'm coming out there to have fun, but I'm trying to connect with people too.
Oh, that's a bet. We got you, man. Appreciate you so much, man. You have a good one. And good luck, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right.